Warning, the views and beliefs in the following program does not reflect the views of Boom Broadcasting. We give full creative control to our creators and do not believe in cancel culture. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Nightcap time. Viewer discretion is advised.
Live from the MOWM studio, Boom Broadcasting presents The Nightcap. And your host of The Nightcap, mouthing off with Mike.
Welcome back to the Nightcap here on Boom Broadcasting, hosted by yours truly. It is the Mike that likes to mouth off. It is MOWM. Shout out to you guys here for hanging out with me here tonight on the Nightcap. It is I mouthing off with Mike. We've got WWE Monday Night Raw from Kansas City. And the only thing I can say about Kansas City is go Birds, baby, because your reigning, defending Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles, defeated the good old Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl if you're living under a rock. So seeing them in Kansas City, I loved it, knowing that we are the Super Bowl champions. But very, very eventful episode of Monday Night Raw here tonight. And at least in my personal opinion, in this host's personal opinion, I felt that tonight's show was the nice middle ground between a nice wrestling show and when it comes to the sports entertainment aspect with a lot of the stories and things. We've got Backlash build taking place here tonight. We've got two more matches announced for Backlash in St. Louis in a week or so. I feel like we just got out of WrestleMania and we're already going to Backlash, but I guess that's why it's Backlash. The Backlash from WrestleMania. So we've got two more matches added. We've got some interesting developments in a couple different stories. And it looks like we have our first World Heavyweight Champion, number one contender for Jey Uso, World Heavyweight Championship. Monday Night Raw, we start off with Seth friggin' Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman. Great way to start off the show. The crowd is still singing Seth's theme. I mean, WWE doesn't feel like the heel, face, good guy, bad guy. I feel like there's like certain wrestlers that you're like, yeah, no, that's they're bad. Like the New Day, they're bad, right? They are clear cut, they're bad. But a guy like Seth Rollins, he's not either. It's the same thing with Drew McIntyre. He's not either. He doesn't fall into one category or the other. He just does, and they do what they feel is beneficial to them. Tonight, what they did, though, definitely sets them in that other direction where they're definitely evil. I don't know what we're going to call this group yet. We have no name. Seth Rollins and the boys, been tossed around. I've seen Dangerous Alliance 2.0. I've seen Evolution on social media 2.0. I really hope it's something unique. I hope it's not like with Seth and he had the whole Messiah gimmick and he has disciples. Like, I hope it's not more like reminiscent of that at its core. I hope it's more based in what we saw tonight, where Seth is in fact getting back to his roots as the architect, that we saw when he came through the system and that 2015 run with the Authority. Like, I could see Seth leaning into that person, that side of his character, obviously with the crazy fits on, because tonight, I don't even know what that was. That fit was wild, but Braun Breaker was rocking an all black suit. I don't think in his time on the main roster, let alone on NXT, I don't think Breaker's ever worn a suit in the ring. So I thought that was a nice little detail that, with Seth, like they're all going to dress, Seth's going to dress crazy, but everyone's going to dress in suits or something nice, which I really like. I mean, there's a lot of different ways we could take this with Heyman and Seth and Breaker. Could we add a third man? Could we add a woman? I'm here for either. Sami Zayn, bless this man's heart, comes out, confronts these guys, and is left with an ultimatum to tell Seth at the end of the night if he is willing to accept the favor that Paul has gotten for him to send him to SmackDown and get a WWE Undisputed title opportunity against the winner of Cena and Orton after Backlash. All he has to do is leave Raw and go to SmackDown, and he gets traded from Raw to SmackDown. I wonder why they wanted to make that trade. Who would they have traded for? They didn't. We never went into that detail here. You know, why would the GMs agree to just trade one of their most popular superstars for nothing in return? Why would Pierce trade him to Aldis and not get anything in return? Especially also promising Sammy a title opportunity, which I thought was interesting tonight with this. We are going to get there, but I like the opening and closing being this story with Seth, Heyman, and Breaker, because this is your, here's your 2025. Get ready to sink your teeth into what we're going to see in May, June, July, August, go to the winter, the fall, talk about what will look like at WrestleMania 42 in Louisiana. This right here, this Seth Breaker Heyman thing, this is going to be your story of 2025. Let's keep an eye on it. The prodigy Roxanne Perez is going to take on Mommy Rhea Ripley. Tonight, I was satisfied with the women's matches we got. We only got two, at least from my watching. We only got two. This match to open the show, great way to do it here. Crowd loving Roxanne. Obviously, everyone loves Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley gets the biggest crowd reactions just about anywhere she's at. So she is top star here, like superstar. The first two Raw episodes after may have made sense moving the story forward. There he is, my man, Sean, host of Wrestling and Destiny on Boom Broadcasting, coming in here. The first, he's right. They've all made sense. We've gotten stories. Tonight's Raw, dare I say, was very story driven. We had our blend of wrestling, but we also had our blend of storytelling. This is a match in case in point where it looks like I think we know where we're going here. Right now we have 3 matches in total announced for Backlash, probably with Jay and Logan. Or actually, we have 3. Then you got to figure Jay and Logan. We'll get there. Then you have to figure, I would assume in some capacity, these women are making the card, something here. But nevertheless, Roxanne, Rhea Ripley, great match to start Raw. I hated that we did the DQ and we ended the match, but let's get into it. Julia attacks Rhea. Roxanne and her beat down Rhea. Io Sky, world champ, makes a save for Rhea. All right, let's talk about it. Now, did I foretell Roxanne and Julia being paired up to go together to the main roster? No, I did not. Absolutely not. Do I think that there's more to this than meets the eye than what we're initially seeing here? Do I think that Shawn and Triple H are cooking up something that potentially could be some sort of NXT women's takeover of Raw or SmackDown? Could there be 2 more women in NXT that could be making the way up here, joining Julia and Roxanne, or are we going to keep it just the 2 of them? That's really what I want to know. So after this whole interaction, Roxanne and Julia attacking Rhea, Io making the save, I would assume in some capacity, whether it's the Raw before Backlash or Backlash itself, that we're going to see a form of this tag team. Roxanne and Julia versus Rhea and Io at Backlash in a tag match. Something's going to break down. Obviously, Rhea and Io can't lose against these two coming from NXT with their positioning on Raw. So then could something break down from there? So I'm keeping a close eye on this. Once again, really like this. I did not see Roxanne and Julia getting paired up. That was a wild card for me. Shout out to Logan. Man never misses a nightcap unless I'm not live. Roxanne Perez and Julia getting called up to the Raw roster because WWE is interested in signing free agents from Stardom. Would not surprise me, Logan. Would not surprise me. We've seen, some of the positioning right now when it comes to some of the champions and some of the talent we're seeing on Monday Night Raw, Weekly, and SmackDown and NXT. WWE just acquired AAA. I would not be surprised if they're looking at additional Stardom talent to make their way to NXT. There's all sorts of rumors about Miss May, Mariah May. I'm not going to get into that tonight because I want to really focus on Raw tonight. But Logan, I wouldn't be surprised. WWE is taking talent wherever they can find talent. If there is someone who didn't get drafted in the NFL draft the other night, WWE's already on the phone with them. They're calling them up. It's the game, Triple H. I saw you didn't get drafted. Come down to the Performance Center in Florida. We got a spot for you. Or it's Shawn Michaels, This is the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. You know what I mean? Like, they're scooping up talent left and right. So I wouldn't be surprised about that. I like this direction. Roxanne Julia, that's wild card, but I'm intrigued by it. Once again, 2 for 2 for me on Raw tonight with Triple H. Logan Paul, guy, we haven't seen him since WrestleMania. Beat AJ Styles. I'm still not over it. Like I said, I tweeted it as I watched this unfold live. A part of my wrestling soul came for me, died, and lifted to the heavens and returned back to the wrestling gods after watching Logan Paul beat AJ Styles. Seasoned, savvy, icon, phenomenal AJ Styles, one of the greatest of this generation. I don't even know what I would classify AJ Styles as because he's just in a league of his own. He's the combination of high-flying, technical. Like, he is, like, in my personal opinion, one of the most well-rounded wrestlers. Wonder what's going to happen with Raquel and the tag titles with Liv gone. Good question, Dan. Good question. We heard Liv Morgan is going to Hollywood. She's got a big movie. I have no idea. I even tried doing a little research on my end before the Nightcap. After I heard that, I was checking IMDb. I was checking, these movies. I haven't seen anything with what movie she might be working on. But shout out to Liv, man. I mean, she's got the look for Hollywood. I think she can nail it. I think she did pretty well in the Kill Room, and I think she did I think it was a pretty funny collab when she was on the Chucky episode. Shout out Media Moguls Productions. What's up, Mike? What's going on? Good brother. Good to see you here tonight on the Nightcap. Thanks for everyone for hanging out with me here tonight. It is just me tonight. Usually we've got a co-host. Is the last minute. I pulled this together in the 11th hour like I've been these last couple weeks. I'm a busy man. I'm a businessman doing business, so it's tough. But I gotta show love to my people. I gotta come on here, talk some wrestling, because it's therapy, man. I get to come chat with all of you guys. I get to say absolutely outlandish stuff. Like Logan Paul and Jey Uso are gonna have a match at Backlash or in some capacity in the near future. So there goes maybe 6 matches for Backlash. I don't know what Triple H is doing. He's 5 and out for his premium live events outside of WrestleMania. Even the WrestleMania, he's pulling 7 and 7 a night because he's capped. He is capped. I love Jey Uso's promo tonight. I liked it. I thought it was one of Jey Uso's better promos. Instead of Jey kind of getting, I wouldn't say frazzled, but just Jey, just letting the crowd kind of control everything. He got some great words in against Logan tonight. Obviously talking about witnessing his brother get beat down at the hands of Gunther and being helpless to that fact. Going into all he's had to do to get that world title, and that he's not going to let some bum ass YouTuber, listen, his words, not mine, glorified YouTube sensation, take that title from him, hits him with a super kick, hits everybody with the yeet to end it. And then, of course, Logan Paul, that scumbag backstage, knocks out Jey. So we're getting Logan and Jey at some point. And I think it makes sense to do it at Backlash. Gotta get a little water. Gotta get the old throat here. Got to do it at Backlash. Jay's got to get a big first title defense on a premium live event. Dare I say, if Cena and Orton wasn't on Backlash, this would have been Jay's main event. I think he would have main evented Backlash, but no way hell is Jay and Logan main eventing over Randy and Cena in St. Louis. I'll give Logan his due. He has to put work in the training, but he is worse than part-time. No, yeah. I mean, here's the problem with Logan is like, we love to hate him. And I I use that loosely. I don't hate anybody in wrestling. My thing with him, it's like he knows he's good at this thing. Like he knows. WWE knows he's good. They know and he know that everyone knows how good he is. The talent in the back, hate to admit it, but he's damn good. He's been doing this for what? 2.5, 3 years max. He's had what? 10, 11 matches total, maybe singles combined with Rumble appearances and chamber matches. But every time he steps foot in that ring, the people talk. And I hate having to talk about him because it just feeds that ego machine. But he is damn good at what he does. And we all hate him, right? Quote unquote. No, a lot, obviously his track record, but a lot of people dislike him. And that is perfect for the professional wrestling business because that's natural. We naturally will boo Logan Paul. I don't think if Logan Paul sticks in wrestling for at least another 5 years, I don't think one time in 5 years we will cheer Logan Paul genuinely because I don't think you could that is just him times 10 and his normal social media persona is him times 5. So that right there, you have to give him credit, and I agree to that, media moguls. I 100% agree to that. It is one of those guys. I know it's Raw night, but I have to say, shout out to my boy Joe Hendry, who successfully defended his title last night at Rebellion. Shout out Joe Hendry. Not shout out Trick Willie. Attacking our boy Joe Hendry here. Trick Willie's cross the line. Trick and TNA. Joe Hendry got the invite from HBK today to show up on NXT tomorrow. NXT, man, it's my favorite weekly wrestling program. I'll say it every week. I'm intrigued about Logan and Jay. Should be interesting. I hate to admit that, but Jay absolutely should win that match. There should be no bull BSing with that. Finn Balor, JD McDonough versus the War Raiders. New Day is on commentary. God, New Day. I love New Day. I'm staring at the empty boxes of Bootios on my wall. Now, we went from Bootios to Frosted Yeets here. That will taste test video coming soon for you for the Frosted Yeets. But man, oh man, JD McDonough cracked some ribs a couple months ago. Finished the match with him and Dirty Dom. I'm happy he's healthy, man. I'm happy to see him. He's a great man. JD McDonough, like we clown him and everyone makes jokes and the big head thing and JD McFunko Pop. But man, he can go in that damn ring. He sells like nobody's business, man. He could sell you, that beachfront property, in Idaho. You know what I mean? Like he's got it. War Raiders, though. The War Raiders, they are absolute freaking beasts, man. I love the War Raiders. I hated seeing them lose the tag titles to New Day. I get we had to do it, had to pay off the heel turn, blah, blah, blah. Would have much rather preferred Big E, who is there at WrestleMania coming in, costing them, and then them having more ammo in the fire with their promos and saying, well, if it wasn't for Big E who left us with his broken neck, and if it wasn't for Big E for screwing us over at WrestleMania, then we would be 15-time tag team champ. Like that could have added a little bit more gas on the fire for New Day because I felt like they were simmering out. They did a good job here tonight on commentary, though. Got to open them up and try them. No, we're doing it. We're doing it. I got to officially, do the old taste test, and I don't have a bowl. I don't have any milk. We're thrown together here tonight on the Nightcap. We're gonna do it. I'll post it across either my socials or on YouTube or everything. I mean, might as well just get the content machine flowing here. Mike, the content machine, mouthing off with Mike over here. Burning Orchids. I just started watching WWE after like 20 years. Not a fan of all this celebrity BS. Yeah, man, it's tough. There are certain celebrities, quote unquote, that have come into, wrestling and have done great things. I'll be honest. I may not be a huge fan of Pat as a commentator. I do love Pat. As an in-ring guy, I mean, Pat can do it. Bad Bunny really impressed me. Logan, he's impressive. I dislike the whole Kai Cenat thing and that whole thing with the Royal Rumble or I Show Speed. I don't remember who it was, man. I get these streamers. I know we're all in the same line of work. They're doing their thing. We're doing the wrestling stream, but I can see your point, but that's the thing about WWE is even 20 years ago when you were watching in 05, there were still celebrities showing up in WWE, maybe not necessarily more of like, in the ring, but, 05, I definitely remember there was a couple celebrities, at the time that showed up. I mean, didn't we have a whole thing with John Cena and Kevin Federline in 06? There it is. KSI, I Show Speed. Yeah, I mean, those guys, I was neither here nor there. Travis Scott, like when I was watching WWE created their own celebrities, The Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker. No, yeah, 100%. I agree with you. The whole Travis Scott thing was, I'm on record as saying like the whole Travis Scott thing was unnecessary for any of the story up to WrestleMania. And dare I say, like, The Rock's involvement wasn't necessary for any of this, until WrestleMania. There's a whole thing that I could go into, and I'm sure other, people have already said it, but Travis Scott, definitely, we didn't need him 100%. They were treated like celebrities, right? They were, right? We had, we just don't need them. No, listen. Hey, I like passion, and you are a passionate fan. It's great to have you back in the fan base, after not watching for 20 years, and that's something that you're not alone on, right? There's a lot of talent in WWE. There's a lot of talent that don't get on TV, right? We've seen Karrion Kross was a big one. When it came to the fans getting behind him and getting him like his merch selling out and the fans going crazy for him when they saw him at Mania just for a few moments, and his reception at Bloodsport, and just all the things around that and the reception we've seen, and a poor guy like Karrion Kross can't get on the WrestleMania card, but a guy like Logan Paul can, and a guy like Travis Scott can be involved in one of the most historic WrestleMania main events and post Mania moments with John Cena and Cody. So like 100%. I get it for sure. I don't know like half the people trying to catch up. I miss a lot. Burning, I'll tell you what, you check out MOWM, you check out some of my comrades over at Boom Broadcasting. They will fill you in on all professional wrestling that you may have missed over these last couple of years. I've got great podcast suggestions, Booking Like a Mark, my good friends at Four Sides of the Ring, Championship Culture, Media Moguls. There's some great podcasters out there that can definitely catch you up, and fill you in on what you may have missed storylines over the last couple of years. At least, going back a little bit further, I'm sure you can find a couple out there. You know what I mean? But this was a solid match. I guess we're angling here with, the New Day, Judgment Day, War Raiders. At some point, these teams are all going to kind of lock it up. I think it'll be interesting. The Raw tag division compared to the SmackDown tag division right now, I will say that is night and day. That is like ordering from, I'm trying to give you, that's like ordering a nice New York pizza from your favorite New York pizza spot and then, eating the bad pizza they used to give us in school. That's what those tag divisions are like. You got like the gourmet over here on SmackDown with those tag divisions, and you got like the lunchroom food, going on Raw. So I do not know what the hell we're doing on that Raw side. That TLC match took me back. One of the best TLCs in the last 5 years, 6 years. I mean, I don't know if we can go back 10, but I would say one of the best TLC matches we've seen in a long time. Dawkins with the ladder spear through the table. Guy's an animal. Everyone wants to talk about Ford. Everyone wants to talk about Tez. And Tez will get his run by one day. But I think Dawkins could be a big man, that missing big man in a division that, we don't really have. Like, he's big, he's agile, and he can fucking do his thing, and he cuts pretty good promos. I mean, don't sleep on Dawkins either. If the Street Profits ever went their separate ways, Tez would be highly successful. But don't think for a shadow of a doubt Docs wouldn't be either, because from what I've seen, Docs can do it too, man. I wouldn't be surprised both of them get the highlight. Women's division is getting even better now with the more storylines and more TV time. See, that's the thing, Logan. You've seen the Nightcaps. You've seen our conversations on the women's division, the state of the Raw women's division for all of January and February when it came to them getting one match or this thing or that. They were not getting any shine. Tonight, they got 2 matches, but even that, and a promo segment with Becky. So fine. I'll give them that. At least we got 2 good matches, even though one of them was ended in DQ, but it advanced the story. And you got Julia, on television. You got Io on TV. Becky and Lyra was really good too. So the man Becky Lynch explains her actions, and to no shock of any of you watching or anyone who watched Raw tonight, Becky Lynch was the one who attacked Bayley. Surprise, surprise. It was the man Becky Lynch all along. Becky's promo tonight just sounded like she was trying really hard to get over the fact that she is the man and that in this new character, she has this massive ego. And it just, towards the end there, when she was really like yelling and getting into it, like it just sounded like she was kind of like whining. I don't know if that was by design or not, but like I guess it added to it, because now I'm kind of like, man, Becky, I see what we're doing here. I see what we're doing. And Lyra has connected with the audience more in the last few weeks than she has as her entire run on the main roster up to this point, outside of the stuff that she did on NXT. The fans are real behind her. I had more chanting, more fans, interacting with her theme song, doing the woo. More fans getting behind her as IC champion. Now, she's challenged Becky for a match at Backlash for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And up to this point, outside of the Saturday night main events, this is the first time the women's mid-card title, one of the titles, has made a premium live event. At least to my knowledge. If you want to fact check me, please do so. I'm okay with being corrected. It'll happen again. It's happened in the past. It'll happen in the future. But to my knowledge, this is the first mid-card title getting defended on a premium live event. That's huge business. Damn shame it took Becky being involved in that title scene for that to happen. That's a gripe. That is a critique I will. I'm glad I missed that whole Divas period. How do you go from China, Luna, Lita, etc. to that? Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Need Becky Lynch to join Seth Rollins. I think it's a possibility. I also feel like they could do something maybe a little bit more with Becky with that aspect, but I don't know. I think that's the safe bet. Gotta ask, am I the one who thinks being called up is Rush? Julia. Personally, I would have switched this around, but you necessarily couldn't, but I would have probably brought up Steph. If I could rebook Stand and Deliver, Steph made history in NXT. She's the first woman to ever hold the North American and the women's title at the same time, but she relinquished the North American and then kept the NXT women's. I would have personally had Steph drop it to Jordan at NXT Stand and Deliver, because I think Jordan should run that division for a little bit. I would have then ran Julia and Jordan, and I would have done Stephanie and Roxanne, because we're putting Roxanne on Raw anyway the last 2 weeks. I don't know if that's by design, because the draft, we know a draft is coming. It's already been announced. We just don't know when. So could be the preconditioning to be like, okay, Roxanne, Julia are called up. Axiom, Fraser are called up for Axiom to SmackDown. Now the draft comes, and then we kind of figured Steph drops at some point. Steph gets drafted to these brands. Now you could say, okay, now Jordan and the women in NXT, they lose and they clear house again. But there's so many there that NXT women's division was be fine. Becky joins Seth at Backlash. Very strong chance. Very, very strong chance. I wonder, Seth. Well, I don't know. Maybe that group doesn't show up at Backlash. I mean, I don't know. Dude, I'm a huge TNA fan. Grew up going to the original TNA shows during the early days of TNA. I feel like TNA people are getting shafted sometimes with the NXT TNA partnership. Yeah, it does feel like that. Media sometimes. I'm a big TNA guy too. I was watching a lot of TNA when I was a kid as opposed to like WWE. So I feel you. I think the partnership is working, but I do agree. I would like to I like to see more TNA talent get some wins and kind of keep things progressing on that side of the business. Trick attacking Joe Hendry. I mean, Trick is not beating Joe Hendry for the TNA championship, but if it happens, then yeah, your argument is valid. But I felt that I feel that someone in one of the companies should win the other company's title, and you could really set something up interesting, between that. Like Joe Hendry beating Obafemi is definitely out of the realm of possibility. But if it was like, Ricky Starks beating, who the X Division champion is, or the new international championship that they unveiled. WWE is kind of done when they absorb a partner with smaller organizations. Look what they did to Raven with the ECW division. Could be said for Perry Saturn, et cetera. Right? No, yeah, it's I would kill to see some main roster people cross the line and go face people in TNA. I'm waiting for that too, because Joe Hendry crossed the line officially at WrestleMania to take on Randy Orton. So it's done. But now it's like Joe, nobody's showed up on Raw or SmackDown from TNA or, vice versa from the main roster. I think the first person that feasibly could be the person that steps across is TNA legend, AJ Styles, the phenomenal one. If AJ Styles isn't doing much right now, or he's going to do something in feud with Dom for a stretch with the IC title, sure, I'm cool with that. But if that doesn't lead to him winning the title, which probably won't, because Dom will get a nice title run, I feel, send AJ to TNA. Have him challenge Joe Hendry, right? That's it. Beat me to saying it. Great minds think alike there. Have Styles go to TNA and win the TNA championship. And have him have a little bit of a baby run. Have him defend it on Raw. That'd be freaking tight. That'd be a great way to do things. Met AJ in Vegas at Mania. I'm jealous. I had 3 main meet and greets that I was willing to pay the absorbent amount of money for the photo or autograph op. One of them was Penta. One of them was Styles, and one of them was Cody Rhodes. Because I had taken a quick selfie with him at 38 when he came back. They did a panel after the show ended, and it was like a mystery one. You didn't know who it was, and I was like, it's gonna be Cody, so I bought it, and I was able to get a quick selfie with them. So I would have loved to get that actually signed. But man, yeah, Styles number one. 100%. I regret not going to WrestleCon. I also just didn't want to do it. It was more, you had more trekking, more going here, more lugging stuff around, more money, to be honest. I did Mania on a strict budget, and that was kind of like, kind of where I kind of segue into, the videos that I plan on dropping from WrestleMania. I still have the vlog coming for you guys. I'm still working on it. There's so much footage. I'm trying to condense it all. I'm trying to make it really nice and short so you guys can get to see a real quick, 10, 15 minute quick look at like that whole week as a whole, but it's literally 4 days. So it's a whole week. So the other video was how much does it really cost to attend WrestleMania? Like I said, I'm going to break it all down. I'm going to go line by line, but I haven't had the time this week. So I am going to work on that this week. And as soon as it's dropped, let me know. I'll let you know on my social medias, @AdamWM_podcast. Like I said, I'm a busy man. So as soon as I can find some time this week, I'm going to sit down, crunch the numbers, no Steiner math, a little IRS math. little $1 million man, Ted DiBiase math. Speaking of $1 million man, Ted DiBiase. Yeah, no, that'll do it. It'll get you. It will get you. WrestleMania will get you. That's tough. Between tickets to stand and deliver nights 1 and 2, plane tickets, merch, meet and greets, hotel, food. No, 100%, man. That is 100% what I'm going to break down, with my videos. I'm going to try to help people do it on a budget, man. Do it on a budget. This year I lucked out with a couple of things, and obviously outside of that, I'll still break it all down. But yeah, Mania's, they'll run you that much, folks. That is no lie. Media's not lying. Rusev found the abyss. I love that shot, man. I'm not one person that gets upset about AEW and WWE throwing shots back and forth each other. It's wrestling. We love it. They did it all through the 90s and the 2000s. Let's let it go, baby. I hate it. I hate the tribalism. If you like one, if you don't like the other, enjoy it. Don't enjoy it. Don't talk about it. Don't worry about it. But I love when we put little subtle jabs and things. AEW, they're more on the nose. They'll put it in your face. WWE will kind of give you the it'll just kind of slide right through. Rusev talking about he ended up in the abyss at one point. He was redeeming things and all of these things. Great little video package for Rusev. I like it. It looks like the character direction for Rusev will be some sort of redeemer or fixer, because he's going to go after wrestlers who are wasting their potential. He's starting with Otis next week on Raw. I love it, because by default and definition, from a character standpoint, not from a person standpoint. Remember, I'm talking on screen, not off the screen. From a character standpoint, if you really look at it, Otis has been wasting his potential for years with the groups. Otis could be a powerhouse, a beast, a tank, an animal, if he just flips the switch. And Rusev taking on Otis to start this whole thing, I love it. I think that could spell the end of the Alpha Babes, of the Alpha Academy, and Otis goes his separate path, and Rusev helps him find it. Love it. We already talked about it. Liv Morgan is Hollywood. We'll see what movie she ends up in. I'm excited for it. I'm really like Julia and Roxanne as a tag team. I do too, Logan. Basically made their own version of Goldberg. They really did. They really did. They really did. This is the Rusev I've been waiting on. Promo killed the past WWE run and AEW run. That is it, Sean. That is exactly what this did. You could call him the murderer tonight. He ended the characters. He talked a lot about, I used to have it all, the woman, the glory, the tank at WrestleMania. I love it. Slide that in. I don't want any of it. I don't need any of it. I loved it. I agree. That puts an end to any past Rusev Miro we saw. Rufus Ezev is going to be like Cross. I could see that. I do see similarities. I think Cross is in a league of his own, though. I think Cross adds a different element to it. I think you could argue Rusev could do it in more of a physical sense instead of a mental sense. He'll still have those promos, but I think psychologically Cross's character is a little bit different, but I do see your point. They are similar. Steph Vakor versus Ivy Nile. She's back, ladies and gentlemen. She's an animal. Steph Vakor, one of the best signings WWE has had in a long, long time. Cross is like the devil on your shoulder. That's it. Rusev could probably be the one that fixes you. Cross will be the one that'll tell you he's pulling the strings, right? The Puppet Master shirt that sold out just now on WWE Shop. I love Cross interacting with all the wrestlers, like Sammy Cross backstage promo. There's something big cooking for Cross. Fan reception is undeniable. People want to see Cross on TV. We saw him tonight very briefly, talk a little bit backstage. I want more from that. I want us to set things up. I need something for Cross to sink his freaking teeth in. Great match. Steph looks amazing. Ivy Nile getting to wrestle on TV. Thumbs up for me. Ivy Nile's so underrated, I think, right now. I think she's got what it takes. This was the best match I've seen from Ivy. I agree. I think Ivy's very underrated. I think Ivy could get some additional airtime in the near future. But before we got there, we had Chad and Penta backstage. Penta calling him a pendejo. Classic stuff here. Loved every second of it. Chad saying his favorite moment was watching El Grande Americano beat his brother at WrestleMania. Of course, Penta's not going to take that disrespect for the Lucha Bros. So you already know what's happening. You know Penta and Phoenix will reunite. It will be glorious. We will embrace. It will be wonderful. Zero Miedo. I would put the mask on, but it's on the floor. I'm waiting to get the mannequin head so I can put the mask on the mannequin head and I can pop it right here. I'm not talking mannequin head as in Al Snow. We want head. I'm talking mannequin head for the Penta mask. Pat McAfee addresses the Gunther situation. Gunther's fine. He's been banned from Raw tonight. Yada, yada, yada. You don't really care. Pat McAfee dropped about 8 F-bombs during this promo. I heard about every third word. I love when Pat gets heated. I love when Pat gets riled up. Pat's got undeniable energy. Pat is pretty good in the ring. Pat versus Gunther. What are we thinking here? What are we thinking? Why? So Gunther can get a cheap win and try to raise his stock again? Pat at the expense of Pat, a commentator. I mean, Pat's wrestled a few matches, but like Gunther's gonna destroy him. It is going to be nothing unless Pat beats Gunther. If Pat beats Gunther, I don't know what we're doing. At that point, Gunther, my man, go to NXT, bro. Let Shawn Michaels take care of you. But because, whoa, waiting to see Dark Penta. Oh, yeah. Penta Obscura. Oh, I need Penta and Phoenix so bad. I need to see them win tag titles. Gunther will always be Walter to me. Don't cook this man. It's a different man. It's a different man. His Pat promo sounds like he was practicing with his boy, The Rock. You could feel The Rock present in his promo. I mean, he was on a Pat show the other week, The Rock, and The Rock gave us a bunch of nothing. Hear me out. Pat versus Gunther. Scratching my head at it. Do I think Pat will do good in the ring and make Gunther look like $1 million? Absolutely. The promo tonight, if Pat could have just refrained from the F-bomb, that I feel like that was so Triple H telling Pat, just go be yourself. Show the people who you are. So, like, we would have heard more of it because Pat, you know, if you've ever seen Pat's show, it's, you know, that's Pat's show for you. I like Pat's show, but, yeah, I don't even know what to say about it. I'm just going to move on from it. It happened. I don't understand that decision. I'm sure they'll make it make sense, but Seth wants Sammy to leave Raw to SmackDown. Sami Zayn tells Seth, buddy old pal of mine, I can't do that. I'm going to win a WWE championship one day, and I'm going to do it myself. Well, Sammy, you got to deal with Braun Breaker. Get the dogs out. Let the dogs out. Get them start barking. I'm losing my voice here. I still never recovered my voice fully from WrestleMania. It's been over a week since WrestleMania. 10 days ago, we were there. It won't come back. I can't get it back. And especially nasty spears. 4 or 5 spears, a curb stomp. Oh my God. How did we get to Pat versus Gunther? Dami, I'm so happy to see you here on the Nightcap. It has been a while. I don't know. I have no clue how we got here, but we're there. That's what we're getting at Backlash. Get him his own F-bomb button. Honestly, LA Knight had his dummy button in it. TNA dummy. Yeah. I miss that. I hope we see some, I hope we see LA Knight go to Raw. I feel like I should just do a whole video on my speculations for the draft, but I don't have enough time. I barely have enough time to edit the 2 videos that I'm trying to get out to you guys now from WrestleMania, and that's 10 fucking days ago. But man, I have so much draft speculation when it comes to things because I think the world title and the WWE Undisputed title are going to switch. SmackDown has had the WWE Undisputed title for the past, year or 2, right? Since Cody won the title. I think Netflix is going to get the WWE title, and I think SmackDown is going to get the World Heavyweight title. And I think we're going to go back to that mid-2000s setup where Big Gold was going to be on SmackDown and the WWE title is going to be on Raw. I also think because Cena's final match is a Monday night, I very well see Cena getting put on Raw as the champion, getting drafted by Netflix. It's Netflix, baby. Money talks. Don't matter about SmackDown because SmackDown's cutting, USA's cutting SmackDown by an hour in the summer. So we're going back to 2 hours. We'll see how that benefits the draft and how it benefits the tag division because that third hour is for the tag division, realistically. Nevertheless, getting off subject here, depending upon what happens and where the world title goes is where I want to see LA Knight end up. But Sami Zayn Breaker was a good match. Rehashing of the IC title feud that we had between the two earlier in the summer. Sami Zayn, after tonight, Sami Zayn, I don't believe will turn heel thanks to Karrion Kross. I think Sami Zayn, after this ass beating he took by Braun Breaker and Seth friggin' Rollins, Sami Zayn is going to be a world champion. Mark my words. Whoever has the world title by WrestleMania, Sami Zayn is going to enter number 1 in the Royal Rumble, win the Royal Rumble, go on to WrestleMania and win the world title. That right there, I don't care. You can clip it. You can tweet it. You can say whatever you want. That right there is my too early prediction. Just from tonight alone, Sammy's promo and this ass beating he took, Sami Zayn is destined for gold. Mark my words. And if it happens, Sami Zayn, I think, is your Rumble winner versus question mark big heel evil heel villain at Mania. Could be Seth, could be Drew, could be just about anybody at this point. Mark my words. Still not a huge fan of the brand split. I feel like there's too many belts now. Someone else just actually said that to me the other day. I think I was talking with somebody, a fan at WWE World, and they were talking about how like there's too many belts and like the brand split. I have always liked the brand split. I like the brand split, particularly when WWE had SmackDown and Raw feeling like separate shows and they had separate vibes. That's what I'd like to see if we do get a draft this year, which it's rumored. So it wasn't, it was announced, but they haven't said it formally. But with the draft, if we've seen a ton of crossover right now. With the draft, if we're going to do it, I just hope that they decide to hard split it. Hard split the rosters. Do not let Raw superstars on SmackDown. Do not let vice versa. Do not let NXT superstars, maybe leave NXT as kind of like the, honestly, way to do it. Hard brand splits. Raw and SmackDown rosters stayed on their rosters. NXT is the kind of neutral zone where Raw, SmackDown can show up. Run those matches that you want to do, like randomly have a Raw and SmackDown superstar on a SmackDown when there's a brand split in place and that makes no sense. Run it on NXT. Now you've added a big element to an NXT show where it's like, okay, Raw and SmackDown can only wrestle on NXT. Have it that neutral zone. Because it's developmental, right? Quote unquote. Be an interesting concept. I'd love to sink my teeth into something like that. Like WWE, give me the pen. Homelander Cody comes back. Too soon, I think. Still not a huge fan. NXT needs their own tag titles. Again, yes. Biggest mistake they ever did was biggest mistake. When Ronda and Shayna unified the titles against Isla and Alba, and then they ended up dropping him to Liv and Raquel literally right after. I'm pretty sure it was. That was the stupidest thing we could have ever done. The NXT women's division absolutely could use tag divisions for the women, for the men, and because there's that many women. You could run it. That they didn't even have women's tag titles when I was last watching. They got rid of the hardcore belt. All right, that's funny. That's funny as hell. Yes, so you've missed a lot of years. So they got rid of the hardcore belt. There's women's tag titles. There was actually 2 sets of women's tag titles at one point. There's 2 women's mid-card titles. There's a women's mid-card title in NXT. There is this thing called NXT. I don't know if you haven't seen it. What else happened? Oh, there was a 24/7 championship, which was a hardcore championship. That has since been retired. Man, you missed a lot, dude. You got some good catching up to do. Firefly Funhouse, probably one of the best stuff of that missed era. There's some gems you missed, brother. There's some good gems. I actually did a 24/7 title like the hardcore 24/7 title, but not as nice. Yeah, that did get merged. Yep. That did get merged. Good overall end segment here. R.I.P. Bray. Miss him every day. That's what I got. I got this one at WWE World last year. Oh boy. The let me in. Shout out Bray, man. Visionary. Lost too soon. Good main event here. Good story advancement for the unnamed Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Paul Heyman group. I liked Raw tonight. Solid. I'll give it a 7-1, or I'll give it 3.8 Italian hands out of 5. Good show. Good times hanging here with you on the Nightcap. I'll be back Friday night. Hopefully I will have a co-host for Friday night. So it won't just be me yapping about the graps. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Boom Broadcasting. And subscribe to Mouthing Off with Mike Wrestling Podcast here on YouTube. Go follow me at MOWM_podcast. Boom Broadcasting got a lot of content coming your way this week. 3 from Deep, Wrestling of Destiny, hosted by Sean, who's in the comments earlier. There's so many different shows that I don't even have account sub to this channel. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for doing that, because that was RVD and I was still watching that. Yes, it was. Make sure you guys subscribe to Boom. Thank you for subscribing to Mouthing Off with Mike. We did finally hit 200 subscribers, so thank you guys all so much. Another milestone in the book. I don't take it for granted. You guys could spend your time after a wrestling show at almost 11 o'clock or almost midnight on the East Coast, wherever you're viewing, to watch anybody's show, but you stick with me on the Nightcap to watch me, so I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you guys so much here. I'm out of here. I'll see you back here on Friday night. Thanks for coming to the Nightcap. Bye, guys.